boys and girls, and welcome to our next math lesson. So this week we've been talking all about time and starting to learn how to tell time using an analog clock. Now, the last lesson we learned how to tell time for just o'clock times. That means that it always changed the hour hand, but the minute hand always pointed up. So we had times like 1 o'clock, that no minutes have gone by. Now, in your activity with that lesson, you got to play with an online game, making times with a clock. Now, I wonder if you noticed, to make those times, you had to spin around your hour hand, but the minute hand always came with it. The two hands moved at different speeds, but they always had to move together. Why that happens is because, like we said, our minute is smaller than an hour. So this big hand is actually the one that moves the most on our clock, or moves the fastest. When our minute hand moves around the clock, it moves faster than the hour, but the hour always moves slowly with it. So as it goes around the clock, it starts pointing to our next number, just like that. So it took the minute hand one whole turn around the clock to reach the next number here. So that minute hand had to go around the whole clock one time for our hour hand to change from the 1 to the 2. Now we're going to make some connections to other lessons and units we've already talked about. In our very first lesson, we said that there are 60 minutes inside of 1 hour. So when the hour hand changed from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock, the minute hand was counting around those 60 minutes it took to change the 1 hour here. So that's why they're moving at different speeds, but are still moving around together. Now, the last lesson, we talked about o'clock times. That's when no minutes have gone past. Today, we're going to talk about half-past times. Now, I wonder if you can make a connection to our fraction unit that we did in school before our break. Our half-past times are always going to have our minute hand pointing down to the 6. There we go. I'm making a connection that the minute hand has gone halfway around the clock to make it half past. So look at this. It went from the 12 all the way down. It's halfway around the clock. That's what makes it a half past time. We can also make one more connection. If there are 60 minutes inside of the hour and we're halfway through, how many minutes do you think this shows if it points to the bottom for a half past time? When it does, that means 30 minutes have gone by. So when we talk about a half past time, that means 30 minutes have gone by inside of that hour. So we are going to learn about how to tell those times on here. So as you saw in your game as well, when these hands move, they move slowly together. So if my hour is showing 1 o'clock, and our minute hand is moving around for that hour, it's slowly going to move. So when we reach half past down here, the hour hand isn't going to be pointing directly at the 1 anymore. It would have moved just slowly to be in between the 1 and the 2. This time, it's showing here, is 1:30, or half past 1. It's hard to see with that hour hand because it's in between. But I can remember that it's not at the 2 yet. If it's not pointing right at it, it means it's getting there, but it's not there yet. So let's practice some of these half-past times together and read them on our analog clock. So our minute hand is always going to point down to be half past or 30 minutes, and we're going to move our hour hand. So this time here is showing 1:30. If I move my hour hand here, take a look. My hour hand is pointing in between the 3 and the 4. It hasn't reached 4 o'clock yet. It's getting there, but it's not pointing there yet. That means this time is 3:30. Let's try it over here. There it is. That hour hand is going past the 7, but it hasn't reached the 8 yet. Not there yet. That means this time is showing 7. Let's make that stick. 7:30. Let's try another one. That hour hand is a little bit past the 9, but it's not at the 10 yet. That means this time is 9:30. Now let's try a few. I will move the hour hand and ask for you to yell it out at home. See if you can figure out the time. I'm going to move it here. What time do you think the clock is showing? Oh, as it moved. Let's try that again. All right, yell it out. What do you think? This is 4:30. Good job. Let's try one more together. There we go. All right, what time do you think this clock is showing? Yell it out. This is showing 11:30. All right, boys and girls, this one is a little bit trickier to understand, but we have an activity for you to practice a little bit on your own. Now, attached to this assignment, there is a Google form, and inside of it, it has different clocks showing half-past times, just like we did in this lesson. And you have to decide what time is that showing. So you're gonna go through and say, is it 11:30, 2:30, 4:30? They're all going to be half-past times. All right, boys and girls, try it out. Have fun and good luck.